Coming up on Family Futures today.
But I just want it to be where anytime the kids want to come home,
It's not like that now?
they can come home and stay if they want.
Oh, and stay.
If
No.
If they need to come home to stay for a while, that's fine with me.
You use the word coddle though, right?
Well, she baby.
Coddle. Why do you think she wants to do that?
I've been trying to figure that out for 7, 8 years. I can't figure it out.
Why would you do that? They're grown now.
Because they need me. They calling on help from mom, so I'm going to see about them.
Every time you run to them, when they struggle, you're keeping them from fully developing.
Today we're talking to Perry and Alonzo. Now these two have been married for 8 years. She has 3 children and he has 5. Many of them are already adults, and I think there may be one who's still living at home that's in college. Well, they're in the process of moving and he wants a man cave, but she has a totally different plan for the house. She wants that space to be available for the children. Now, we know that's going to be a problem. So when we bring them over, we're going to talk to them just about this move. And I'm sure we're going to learn that there's something else going on more than that man cave.
Well, Alonzo and Perry, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks so much for the invite.
Yeah, certainly our pleasure. Well, look, before we get all up in your business, yeah, look at this face.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about us.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married 27 years. We have 2 adult sons.
Mm-hmm.
We have a passion for family. We have a passion for marriage. And we really have a passion for seeing families and just really work together and have a good time. As a matter of fact, in our book, Marriage Done Right is Hard Work, but it's Worth It. The subtitle is Putting the Fun, Fire, and Focus back into your marriage, because we really believe that you can have all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a myth, because we've been doing it for 27 years.
Yes,
We like to help couples. And this is just one format that we help couples. We also do coaching. And with that being said, we are so delighted once again to have you guys here. And now we want to help you. As I said, we're going to get all up in your business. So just a little bit, right?
It's okay.
So tell me, how's it going with you guys? Well, you know what? Let me just back it up a little bit. Alonzo. Yeah, I'm starting with you.
You the head.
How did you know she was the one?
Oh, man. Yeah. When I say
You
it.
still thinking about it, bro?
Oh, he
No,
said when
I
he
said when I seen it. When I seen it.
Huh?
When I seen it.
Okay.
I went.
When he seen her.
When I seen her,
Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay.
I had a friend. We was in a band together,
Okay.
and they needed a drummer. I already play, but I was like, okay, I'll go over there, but I don't know nobody over there. Like, go over there, they need a drummer, go over there. So I went over there Easter 2010.
Okay.
So I walked in, I'm smooth.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Walked in, my little suit on, my little drum stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to the drums. I sat up. She was in the choir stand. I'm like, oh, Lord. And I'm like, okay. And since then, she was just on my mind. But now her father had passed like a few weeks after.
Mm-hmm.
And she was gone for a little while. And I was like, man.
Oh, so you were drumming for...
Yeah,
you kept going back.
Yeah.
Okay, you kept
They
going
hired
back.
me.
Okay,
I'm good like that.
Okay.
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 So I kept coming back.
Mhm.
And I was
You
like,
just come back because you was good like that. You come back because of
No, I
the
was
sister
good.
that was in the choir.
I was good. And I was like, I see old girl, you know,
Mhm.
some lady, you know.
Mhm.
So she introduced herself. We talked a little bit. And I was like, yeah. So now she disappeared. I'm like, man, old girl. So I kept on. She came back. And so I said something to her. We was at rehearsal. So I was like, you just gonna take a sabbatical in the middle of church?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, well, my father passed. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was just messing with you. Sorry, you get a pass.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, try. I'm like, come, all that ain't necessary. You're gonna be all right. It's gonna be cool. And she was like, well, looked at me like she want me. I'm just saying. I'm supposed to tell the truth.
Oh,
Right.
She's
Tell the truth.
Look, my daddy just died. I want you.
Right.
She dated my daddy just died. I want you.
I'm trying to
Look.
comfort her though, but
Okay.
I'm just saying. Just telling y'all how it went. I don't know her story, but I'm saying what happened when I was.
Okay.
So then we just talked, and she was like, "You tell her?" I'm telling you.
Okay.
So she texted me like, well, you want to go out to dinner? I'm like, oh, I gotta play. Because I play a lot.
Okay.
So I was like, I ain't gonna be able to go because I'm busy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she texted me again about a week later after this trip. We're gonna go out to dinner. I ain't asking you no more. I'm like, hey man, you ain't gotta be like that. You don't have to act like that. It's gonna be I'm busy right now. But we'll get so on who birthday? Hers. On her son's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you missed my birthday. I was like, I'll go. So we went on my son's birthday. We went out. And from there, we stuck. We was all like always together, like all the time. I'm like, okay, this is the one. Because it was too easy. Because when God put it together, it's easy. It's not hard. It wasn't hard at all. We got along. We love God.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it real easy. Because it's like she in the church. She was crazy, but she in church.
Okay.
God can get that together to be all right. And we just got along. We like the same things. She don't like that I play a lot. I have to do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I sing. So I sing and I play. So I'm going like that. And she was coming with me all the time. So she ain't had no problem with it. And it's just been good. It's been real good. It's been real good. But it has,
Of
the
course.
devil get in because he mad because, it's flowing too. You have to throw some curves in there, but
Okay.
Can you hit a curve
stay
ball?
praying. Yeah, I can. I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wait on it. Sit back on it, smack it out, and pray, man. I pray. She was like, "Yeah, pray, girl. I pray all the time. I'm praying while I'm talking to you."
Mm-hmm.
I was taught that a long time ago. You gotta pray without cease. I don't know, because I do some stuff. I don't do bad stuff, but I might say something sometime, and I'll be like, "Oh, I might hurt them. I don't want to do that. Forgive me, Lord. Let me be able to talk about that and let them be okay with it." But I'm okay. But we get along. She like to be hard as, but we get along. She like to be, but we get along. We get along.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I like to be who?
You know what you like to be, and I don't want to hear it in the car.
Perry, when did you know? When did you know Alonzo was the one?
When he came.
Oh,
When he came there, it was like me and my mom had because I'm his first wife. He's my second husband.
Okay.
And after that first marriage, I told my parents I don't think I'll ever marry again. I'll just focus in on raising my children.
And how many children did you have at the time?
3.
3, okay.
I told them I'm just going to focus in on raising these boys and my little girl or whatever. And I never forget, like I said, my dad passed away in May. And in February, we was in the kitchen of my parents' house. And she said, I see you remarrying again. I'm like, no, you see one of your other daughters marrying, or one of them that have not married. She was like, no, it was you. And my mother described him to me. So when I saw him, it was like my spirit man like jumped, and I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm sitting there in the quiet stand, and I'm like, oh God.
You mean as soon as this brother walked in looking on fly with the
like halfway down
drumsticks?
the wall.
Uh-oh. Look
He
at
came
him.
like halfway down the aisle. And I'm like, that's him, God. I'm like, that's him.
So then with the passing of your dad, did you think about him during that time? Did you think you'd see him again? Was that at all on your mind?
No, because my mom, like I said, she told me before, because it was like right after, she told me before I saw him, and like I said, it was like in May when Dad died, and it was April when he came. It was like the next month, right after my dad's death. And passing, I'm like, that's him. I'm like, that's him. Wow.
Did you tell your mother?
I went home and I told her,
Okay.
and I was like, Mom. And I was like, that's what happened today at church. And she was like, what? I was like, my husband came to the church today. She was like, he came today? And I was like, Ma, he came today. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to call your brothers over, bring them home. And I'm like, can't you just meet them before my brothers? I'm like, that you meet them before the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, your older brother have to be here because your dad gone, so he have to be. And I was like, well, Ma, just give me a break. You meet him first, and then we gonna bring my big brother in. So brought him home, and my mother met him and everything.
Oh, stop. This is day one conversation after night one.
I get it like that.
And you went over to meet Mama when?
The next Sunday, next Saturday, the Saturday after that,
No, after we went out, though, it was after Kari's birthday.
in September.
Yeah.
Kari's birthday was September 5th,
Yeah.
which was a Monday, and that Saturday when he met my mom in
So how much
September.
time passed from her telling you that you need to go out and she's not going to ask you again to you meeting
I
Mama?
was 28, my birthday.
That
I was 28
that was-
September.
right. That was
Eighth or ninth.
Wow.
That's what she said. Thomas, I ain't gonna
You
ask
went
no
from
more.
no, I'm not going to get married again to within a month's time, you're looking at the man that you know will be.
She said, get over here. I'm not asking you again.
Right, and I got over there. Well, a little later, but I got over there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I say, our first date was September 5th.
Mm-hmm.
We were married the following year, Valentine's Day, February 14th.
So you said you had.
All and within a 5-month period. I'm sorry, babe.
Go ahead.
From September, October, December, January, February, 5 months. Wow. Okay. Grace. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So you said you have children or had children at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have 5
Oh.
kids.
Okay. So what are the ages of your children? Help us.
Ooh,
Wow.
I got grown.
Shawana is
Grown 30.
32, 31.
Okay. When you throwing out the names, you tell me yours and then his, so I won't.
Mine.
Okay.
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 Shawana is the oldest girl, is Alonzo's oldest girl. Shawana is 31. Then it's Darius. Darius is 29.
29.
Then it's
Terrell.
Terrell is 28. Then it's Tiara, which is his daughter. Tiara is 26.
Okay.
Then it's the baby boy, Tyreek. Tyreek is 19.
Wow,
Okay.
okay.
Then it's my
Everybody's
children.
grown. Okay.
Kari is 25. Then it's Kaylin. Kaylin is 22. Then it's the baby girl, Kiara. Kiara is 17.
Kiara in 12th grade.
Yes.
No.
She's in
Yeah,
the 12th grade.
yeah.
You sure it's Lonzo?
She's a senior.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 12th grade. Okay.
So how do all the kids get along?
They talk.
They talk us. His children
No, ma'am.
not in Chicago.
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh, we
Okay.
didn't know they don't live in Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, I don't live in Chicago.
Oh, none of yours are
Except for the
here.
baby boy.
Baby
Okay.
boy lives in here. And Terrell came back here, but doing then when we first, they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't here. But the little one was, the baby boy was here.
Okay.
Okay.
So they talk, they know each other, like, you know, and talk to each other a little bit, but yeah, they all right.
So it should be wedded bliss. It's just the two of
She
you.
keep on trying to,
two of you except one that's in the
She keeps
12th
trying to
grade.
It's
What?
still one at home.
it's still one at home.
We still have the
Oh.
baby girl at home. She's a senior this year.
She's a senior.
Okay. Okay. It's just the one at home.
Just one.
But I just wanted to be where anytime the kids want to come home,
It's not like that now?
they can come home and stay if they want.
Oh, and stay.
If
No.
they decide.
Wait.
If they
wait.
need to come home to stay for a while, that's fine with me.
So what's the current living situation? Like, what is do you have a big home now? Are you in an apartment? Like, why
Yeah,
is
space to
that?
accommodate.
The house the home now that we're going into in a couple of weeks, it's a 6-bedroom
Oh,
house.
so the house you have now.
Oh, so you've already purchased a home and
Yeah.
about to move in your home.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And nobody, yeah, we're about
Like,
kicking everybody
yeah.
out. This is going to be us. Me and my man cave her in an office. I can have an office too.
But I don't. I
And some
don't see that.
grandbabies coming over.
I don't see that in her face when you.
Why you always got to put her face in it?
I'm
Because it's
looking,
the
I'm looking
two
at
of
both
you.
of y'all's faces. Her
I'm just, you know,
Her face is telling the whole story.
This wasn't in
No,
my
no.
contract.
I mean, he said, well, maybe he says that I baby the kids,
Okay.
even the
You
boys.
You can't baby.
I don't think that I baby them.
She baby.
But I want them to
Baby.
know that
She baby.
because this is how I was raised.
Mama didn't baby.
If you get out there and it's a struggle
see, that's,
and you feel that you're struggling,
that's different. I'm not
Come
saying
home.
that. Now, see, now you acting like I'm some
Come
kind of
home.
ogre. I didn't say if my kids out there struggling. Now, I'm not gonna leave my babies out there. They struggling. You come
and even
home.
if you feel you just want to come home for it,
No, see, that-
this is the part he don't.
that- no,
even
don't
if
just
you
tell
feel you
people to
just
come
wanna
home.
Come home and be like, I'm going home and just
No, but-
relax at
you
home
know.
for a week. Come home, baby. Come home.
Why?
Come home, baby.
Baby, he said baby.
See what I'm saying? That.
So, because
The only person I call a baby is them girls, the babies. I call the babies the Kiari and Tiara. Well, I even call the big girl baby too. But them boys need to be men. You can't be babying. You can't coddle them like that. And see, she don't get that.
I don't cuddle.
You do.
I don't cuddle to that extent because you know.
Yes, she do. Yes, she
Not
do.
to that extent. I
Babe,
don't cuddle.
my boys can come in there right
Curry
now.
State.
Any of my boys can come in the house. Any one of them. She love. That's why I love her too. She love my kids like she had them.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll say any of them boys come in there and be like, Mom, do this. I could have just been an asshole to fix me a sandwich or something. Babe, my back hurt. Them boys come in there. Mom, could you do? She up. Boy, what you doing? I love you. I just asked you for a sandwich.
She get that instant healing.
Yeah. She up there jumped over the bed, jumped over me in the bed, and it's kind of hard to jump over me now. Jump over me in the bed. Babe, what? Babe, I asked for a sandwich. You always talking about you and the kid. No, man, you can't do them boys like that. They big enough to do their own stuff. But they run to her, she go do everything they say.
So what was going on before the purchase of the new house? Were you able to have family over? Were you?
Yeah, we had family over, but what she want to do,
Okay.
she want to crowd the place like it's a Holiday Inn. And keep everybody hostage for
Hostage.
a week, 2 weeks. What she just want to be able to just be like, and I love my wife. I'm cool with it. I'm not. Don't get it wrong. I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
but you're moving into the house, so
Yeah,
you're
you just
obviously
wanna be
okay
Yeah, I'm
with
alone.
cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, how many choices? Like I told you about you. How many choices I got? But
Okay.
I'm just saying, you got to keep the queen happy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be happy. So
But at the same time, though, you're voicing
I
how
always
you want
voice,
this
but
to.
my thing is, I voice I'm me.
Okay.
God made me a head. If I see something wrong, she knows about it. I don't care what she say. And I'm not always right. Now, if I'm wrong, I say, tell me when I'm wrong. If she can tell me when I'm wrong, I sit down and shut up, be quiet for it. Oh yeah, it was hey, you know what? My fault. I didn't see that. Because that's what she's for, and that's what I'm for with her. If I see something wrong, if I see her doing something wrong with my boys, ooh man, that makes girl, what you doing? You can't do that.
But you just told me they were all grown.
I don't care. She still do it. That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, no, I'm.
She a baby him.
But
She's
you said
Tariq is not going.
see Tyreek.
you
Tyreek is
keep
20.
calling my boys. They're your men now, right?
They whatever. They're gonna always be my boys because they're younger than me. They're my
They're
children.
your boys.
Right.
They're my boys and they her boys. So they're our boys. They're gonna always be under us.
Mm-hmm.
They could be men. I don't care if he's 50 and I'm 76,
He
78.
gonna still be our.
They're gonna still be my boys, just like my girls gonna always be my baby.
So-
So,
baby girls.
so how do you treat your boys?
What boys? My boys? Her girl? What
My boys, all 5 other boys.
No. You know, I just told you that. We just spent the past
I
20 minutes.
I love my boys.
She wrong.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out. I'm just going to throw this out to you,
There you
Alonzo.
Yeah, he played too much.
Because you use the word boys, right? But then earlier you were saying you got to train them to be strong and be men.
Yeah, and I mean that. Don't. My words are not
I
twisted. No
think
Galloway.
boys is a term
Boys
of
a term of
endearment
endearment. I
for
love
us.
my boys.
I got it. I got it. I understand that. But is it possible? You can say, no, it's not possible. But is it possible that when you look at them as our boys, that you may treat them like they are our boys?
Oh no.
As opposed to,
yeah,
Ow.
well, she might.
yeah,
Seriously.
I'm talking.
Okay.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
As opposed to our boys have now become men, and now these are our men. And it
Okay,
may
so
give
you
you
saying-
it may give you a different perception of
Maybe
them.
I should change my word, but I'm not the one treating them like little boys. She does.
You know what, Lonzo? How about you and I go down to the man cave and talk man to man?
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Harry, we can stay up here and chit chat.
Alrighty. You know, I just wanted to bring Alonzo down to the man cave, get him out of the environment with Perry and Nicole, and just talk to him man to man and see what's really on his mind. I know sometimes with the men, you guys just get us in isolated so that we can share our hearts. That's not normally natural for us to do. So I just want to get him down here, break the ice, and really just get inside his head and get inside his heart and see if we can make some progress there. So from your perspective, what I want you to do is tell me Perry's perspective. When she says that these kids, these children, these boys, these girls, our children, may be struggling. How do you think she defines that? And then how do you think that she needs to deal with that once she has that perception?
Well, I can't really speak for her, but the kids are not struggling. But what she's saying is she just want them to be able to just run home. Like I say, I don't have no problem with that. If something's wrong, if something's really wrong, yeah, if you need to come home for a little while, come home. I don't have no problem with that at all. But it's about having strength and your faith in God. You gotta let them build some character. Because if you can just turn around and run home anytime your light bill or whatever.
Your mama said you can.
Yeah, and your light bill because it's 2, 3 a week or too old, and you don't know if you're gonna be in the dark, and you just run home. No, you gotta figure it out. You should be able to sit down, pray about it, ask God for help, and get you so you can get on the right track. The first thing you shouldn't do is what you don't want to do is run home. Never did that. My mom didn't bring my dad and didn't bring me up run home soon as anything. You shouldn't do that. That's not a good look. To just coddle kids, coddle them, and treat them like babies. They're grown.
Okay, so now what you just did, you just told me your perspective.
Man, I can't tell you hers. I really can't.
Have you asked her? Have you asked her why?
Can't.
What do you think?
I can't.
You used the
I be
word.
trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know why she.
You use the word coddle though, right?
Well, she babying.
Coddle. Why do you think she wants to do that? I mean, what is it about her that makes her want to coddle? Why do you think why do you think she feels like she needs to do that? I mean,
right. That's what I need to know.
Look,
when I can find that out.
As you dwell with your wife according to knowledge, and you get to know this woman. Why do you think?
Don't know. I can't. I've been trying to figure that out for 7, 8 years. I can't figure it out.
Have you asked her?
Yeah, in a way I asked her, but she won't come out and just say, why she does that.
How'd you ask her?
Ben, why you always coddling them boys?
Is that a question or a statement?
That's what I said. You said, how did I say it? That's, why you always coddling, doing all that,
I got that. But my question to you is your approach.
I don't know what my approach is. I'm just straightforward. It's not. I can't sugarcoat.
We ain't talking about sugarcoating. We're talking about getting results.
That's what you want, the result from me or from her?
You guys got to come to an agreement, right?
Exactly.
So what I'm talking about is you approaching her in a way to get an understanding on where she's coming from. And then she's in a position where she can answer your question without feeling like she needs to defend herself.
Oh, well, that's going to take some. Because she's going to feel like that. Because the way I say, you shouldn't treat our young men, you shouldn't treat them like that. You should let them grow up. Let them be men. She gets offended when I say that. Because I say it a lot.
And why shouldn't she get offended if you say it like that?
Why shouldn't she get offended? Because she know who I am and what I am, what I stand for. I love our children with no to life. I wouldn't do nothing to hurt our children. So it's like, I'm telling you mostly about our young men.
Mm-hmm.
From that perspective, you shouldn't coddle them because I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a man. She's not a man.
She's not a man.
She's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the little babying, okay, cool, but the overblow of babying young men is not a good thing.
I agree with that.
It's not a good thing at all.
Yeah,
They don't, there's no get up and go about it. It's like, whatever happened, mom will do it.
Yeah, I have 2 sons of my own, so I completely agree with that. But let me ask you this question. You said you know who you are and what you stand, who you are and what you stand for, right?
Yeah.
Can you approach her in a different way and still be who you are and not change what you stand for?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a way to do everything. I mean, it's like, but that's just her way. Her way is to.
No, we talking about her way right now. We talking
We're
about
talking about my way.
We talking about your way.
My way can be. I can come bring it from another angle.
Like what? So is it possible that you can say, as opposed to telling her they need to just stand on their own 2 feet, we're not going to call them, is it possible to say, you know what? Let's bring them in and find out what's going on and help them, and let's coach them. Have you done that?
Well, we haven't had to do that because our kids are not. They're pretty successful. They're not, out there struggling like nothing.
So what's she talking about when she says struggle?
She was saying if.
Okay. Oh, so you guys are disagreeing about a scenario that's not even real.
Well, because she a coddle and she knows she and that's what I'm like. And ain't nobody going to do nothing like that.
Hold up, but you're telling me that the coddling is not even a real situation. It's you guys.
Oh no, she coddles. That's.
So how does she coddle?
Anything. Mama couldn't do this. Mama do that. They can do that stuff themselves. So our kids can cook, clean, all kind of stuff. But you come in because you want her to do something. You tell her to do it because she could be relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll come in and be like, "Oh, Mom, come do this," and she'll jump up.
Well, upstairs I heard her say, and she didn't use these words, but what I heard her say was, "God has graced me to do this," as their mom. That's her rationale. So why does she feel like she needs to do that with, as we're gonna say, grown kids?
I want to know the answer to that.
Ask her.
Like I told you, I asked you because I want to. That's her answer to it.
And
that
then
she feels like she wants.
Okay, let's role play. Okay, do you think that's best for the children?
No, I don't.
No, I'm asking. When you ask, I'm you and you're her.
Oh,
do you think that's best for the children? Because you know how she'll respond. You think that's best for the children? I'm trying to help you out.
Right, I got you. Mm-hmm. Well, nothing. I'm just doing it. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm just doing it.
The children are grown and they're self-sufficient. If we do this, do we think that's best for them?
It ain't gonna hurt them.
Why not?
I'm their mama, and if I want to do it,
no, we're talking about what's best for them, and them being grown men who are self-sufficient, taking care of their own family, and then they're going to set an example for their own families as well.
Well, it ain't gonna hurt them.
How's it going to help them?
They don't do it all the time.
No. How's it going to help them?
I don't do it all the time. It help them.
No, we're not talking about the amount of times you do it. We're talking about the impact. How's it going to help them?
I don't know. I can't.
See, what we want to do, babe, let's you and I devise a game plan. And let's talk about how we're going to parent these children who are now grown to take on an advisory role to make sure that we're helping them be successful in all areas of their life.
With our blended family, we have 8 children. I have 5, she has 3. I want my men to be men. And my girls, they're gonna always be little young ladies to me. But we have a lot of love in our family. We need to know how to show it. And me and my wife need to learn how to lead our family together, understanding each other and understanding how to make our family successful.
So Perry, tell me, when did it all start? Where did this come from, your love for family? I know you were raised in a big family. Is that where it started?
Yes, it all started with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were also raised in big families, so that was always our backbone and structure of the family. Mm-hmm. Family first. So that's basically where it stems from. And he's talking about baby me. So,
but I mean, you can love your family. This is more though. the need to have this openness and this availability to them all the time? Where did that come from?
I guess after the separation from the first husband, the kid's father, it was me and my children. So I was basically the sole parent. So I was that parent that was there all the time. So, and it's like when Alonzo came along and he talked about it or whatever and like hit on it like, you know, they're boys, you got. I felt some type of way.
Okay.
I felt some type of way.
When he was saying what exactly?
It was like, you know, you gotta give them a little leeway and let them kind of do things on their own. You know, let them, it's like a baby learning how to walk when, you know, how your mother used to buy them little hard bottoms to strengthen the baby ankles. You have to, but I think I raised responsible men, young men. I think I raised responsible young men because there's things that they can do on it. But if they need me, I'm available.
So what you said, you felt some kind of way. What happened? Because his kids were always older, right?
Right.
And he's telling you this is how we need to handle them. And you're saying, I felt some kind of way about that. Why?
Because I had been that only parent.
But they're older.
In my book, true. But I was that only parent.
So it for you in your mind, I'm really trying to understand, because I mean, I have boys. And I grew up, my father was in and out of my life. So I didn't even have a strong family. And that is the reason why family is so important to me. So it's not like I had family as an example. I just know I love the fact of being around family. My mother came from a big family. It's not that my grandfather was around, but I was around her brothers and sisters. And so when she and I went off, because I'm the oldest, I was an only child for 12 years. When it was just the two of us, I remember saying, when I have a family of my own, I'm going to make sure I'm always there, because I was a latchkey kid. I didn't have her siblings around anymore. So that stayed with me forever. Meaning I was a stay-at-home mom, you know, for their elementary years. But I was also very clear that because I'm raising men children, that there is a point where this level of nurturing and care has to transition to something else, because I want them to be strong. I want them to be independent. I was clear that there were levels and seasons for things. So as I'm listening to you, I'm not hearing the levels and seasons. It's like it's the same all the time, no matter what. And why do you feel like
I don't think it's the same all the time, every time.
Okay.
And I think Alonzo just be overboard with things. I don't think it's the same all the time. Because like Kari, Kaylin, for instance. Kaylin is way in Ohio. So if he called, I can't get up, and I'm in Chicago. I just can't get up and run to Ohio. Kari is in Gary. I just can't get up and run to Gary. And it was like, yeah, when we first got married, these are my boys. I was the custodian parent. So I felt that if they needed me, then I needed to be there. Because dad was not there. I was the only parent. So I needed to be there by any means necessary. I needed to be there.
So really this is for you. Your being there and being able to respond to them in the way that you have all these years makes you feel like I'm doing a good job as a mother to do that. Not
really. Because
I'm
I'm a good mom, period. Even if I don't go.
Okay.
I'm a good mom, period, to my children.
Okay.
I just don't want them, I guess I don't want them to feel that if they need me, really need me, that I'm not available. I don't want them to have that sense of mine gonna come through or what have you.
And what would be wrong with that for you not to come through? Because they already know you're a good mom.
I guess you just don't want the doubt from kids or whatever.
And who is that for? You or for them?
I think for both parties.
So the last 8 years, because you guys have been married, that's a nice amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You've been
The
doing
last
this?
2 years.
Okay, help me. Yeah.
The last 2 years,
Okay.
I have bagged back.
As you're saying this, does anything ring in true, like deep somewhere, like maybe I shouldn't be like this, or maybe, or do you feel like this is
No, because I have, back being with Alonzo, I know how to balance it. Like I said, it was really work. It was overboard. If they
Okay.
would just, Ma, baby, I'm gone.
Okay.
It's not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have bagged off a lot since, seriously.
Well, why doesn't Alonzo? Why doesn't he think that?
I think Alonzo have a struggle with the kids sometimes. Cause like if the boys do come
Mm-hmm.
and be like, well, Mom, can you cook this or cook that? And I be, yeah. And then if I'm finished cooking or whatever, he'd be like, well, can you? No, why you didn't ask when I was in the kitchen, love? You wait till I finish doing whatever it was I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you ask, no, I can't do it. No. Well, you did it for the boys.
Was that an area of contention? Like for you, the way you would run, even to his boys, was that a problem?
With him?
Yes.
Not with me. Not with me.
But he is you. Y'all
I know,
won.
but it wasn't a problem with me because I'm
Right.
just mom. I mean, it was a problem with him. Them boys just go, you just go. I'll be back.
So, well, let me ask you this, because something else was said. He said, I can ask for a sandwich. And she'll be like, my back hurt or I'm tired or whatever. They can come. And you not only is your back fine, instant healing, as Tony said, you will leap over him. Is that true?
Didn't you notice how dramatic my husband was?
So you said absolutely not.
That is not true. Because like I say, the boys are not home now. They're in different states.
But they make it impossible for you to do it. But if they were here, then
Yes, I will. Yes.
okay,
Yes,
that's
I
the
will.
part. That's the part. That's where we are. Why would you do that? They're grown now.
But that's
Why?
like even with his baby boy. If Tyreek called and be like, Mom, sister, I'm going.
Why?
Because they need me. They calling on help from Mom, so I'm going to see about them.
So, I want to pose a question. I want to paint a picture for you and just think about this. Because even though they are your boys, they really are men. So he's not seeing a 6, 7, 8-year-old run and saying, Mommy, can you? He's saying, Mom, can you? And that's the same way his voice sounds. That's bass and he has bass. So he's seeing the woman he loves doing for other men. I know they're sons, but they are now men that she won't do for me. And how do you think that makes him feel?
Alonzo is just gonna
No.
No, Alonzo, no, like I say, I think my husband can be catty sometimes, and I think that's cattiness.
But he's a
Because I go far overboard way more for my husband than I do. Like I say, my boys I only really get to see the boys maybe 4, literally probably 4 to 6 times out of the year. How many days is in the year?
Yes.
365.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of those days belong to you, Alonzo. So I don't feel that it should be a problem or issue because you get way more of my time than my 5 young men do.
Yes.
So when the young men are there and I'm maybe extra or overboard, as he want to call it, I don't think he should have a problem with it because it's not like they're there every day.
Right. I have the same thing. So I'm not talking to you about anything that is not close and near to my own heart. My family is in Ohio. We're in Maryland. His family is in Maryland. So when my family comes, I'm pulling out everything. My family is here. I'm doing everything that I can. Or when the boys come in town. Yet and still, this is 27 years in. He pays attention to how much time I'm giving to them. Whether or not I think it's right is completely irrelevant. As his woman, all the time, when they're there or not there, I have a responsibility to respond to him. And that's what brings longevity in a relationship, because as mothers, we don't know how to stop mothering and be a wife. And we always put mother over wife, and that should never be. Even in a blended family, which makes it even harder, wife comes first, then mother. So it's just something to think about.
I'm a mother, and family is top-notch important to me. I feel that my children need me all of the time, no matter how old they are or where they are. I feel that my children need me all the time. There are some issues with me probably running to every beck and call and need, but I'm working on it. I'm still a mommy, and I'm working on it.
So we had a really good conversation. That time we were able to just have a one-on-one. She was able to just share a lot of things that not only from her current situation, but she talked a lot about her past. And I think in learning, because her parents had a very good relationship. She's one of 22 kids. And even though she saw that, her own experience in her first marriage really plays a lot in how it is that she's experiencing the second marriage because of how they broke up. And in that first marriage, she lost her husband to infidelity, and that left her raising the kids by herself. So what I learned, as she was just sharing with me, is that in the relationship, she felt like she was the only one giving to the kids. The father wasn't around.
How long was she married the first time?
I think she said about 14 years.
Okay. And then how long before Alonzo came?
I want to say it was about 8 years, but I'm not certain. But there were a lot of years in there where it was just her raising the kids.
Okay.
And so that really shaped her parenting and her thinking around how to be there for the kids, which has made her be, overly available and there for them.
Me and the kids against the world. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
And wanting them to know that she's always there.
I think Alonzo and I had a very productive conversation as well. With him, it's like most men, we're Mr. Fix-It, right? And he says, I have a very simple solution. Let the boys become men. As a matter of fact, now that they are the age of majority, they are men. So let's treat them like men, and I don't understand why you can't get it. So he understands that what he needs to do is to get a better understanding of her and how she filters information and why she does what she does and why she doesn't do what she doesn't do. But the thing that's really encouraging to me is we talk about even different approaches, and he said he's really willing to try different approaches. And I think he's going to put forth the effort to do that. And I think he wants to see her improve, and I think he's going to do whatever he can to help her in that regard. But he knows that he needs to really stop focusing on how she's filtering information and think more about his approach.
And she's really interested in changing, which makes it good. She loves him. She knows that.
And that's evident. That's evident.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
evident. I mean, really on both.
Yes.
From both of them.
Yes.
They are really into each other. They love each other.
Yes. And so that's really the foundation, isn't it? The fact that they love each other so much that they are willing to change, even though it's as painful as it is. And that's a lot about what she talked about, the amount of pain. So the fact that they both know they need to make some changes, us having them work on hers, first of all, working on how it is that she responds when they are calling in the struggle.
Yeah, whatever that struggle means,
having
right?
that common definition of what a struggle
clip my
is.
fingernail too short, right?
Right. And then them standing together as parents on one side and them working together to parent their children. I think if they're able to do those three things,
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
And so we can see them married another 80 years. What you think?
Another 80, and they're not spring chickens, but okay, we'll go with
Let's
that.
just give it to them.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, till death do us
How
part.
about that? Yeah,
We can see them
agree to
getting
that.
there.
I can agree to that.
All right, well,
I
we
agree.
did it.
I want a high five.
Oh, you didn't put your hand up like that.
What is this?
Amen.
This is really good. I would like to say I did this for Tony. Put this together.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
See what you got, Tony. What you got?
What kind of skills you have, Tony?
So thank you guys again for coming. We really appreciate it.
We thank you all for the invite, and we really enjoyed our time with you all. It was a really good conversation.
Really?
It was.
Well, what was your takeaway? What was the best part for you?
I'm learning.
Learning what?
I'm learning to fall back. That's my task to take on. Learn how to fall back from the young men, not the boys. The young men.
So, to be more specific, because there are some actions that come with the learning to fall back. What will be different now, based on your willingness to make some shifts and changes?
I guess I'm just not going to be available for every beck and call. It's a process. One day at a time.
I think earlier, Tony, didn't you ask what was the definition of struggle?
Right. What's the definition of struggle? When you look at what your children are going through, you say, well, they're struggling and they need my help. How do you define what's a struggle?
And what
that will require your assistance.
Like I say, if it's like a financial struggle, if they're out there living in their own, places or what have you, and if they feel that they just can't make it, come home. You don't have to struggle.
So is it reasonable then to consider that the definition of struggle be something that the two of you come up with together so that when the call comes?
Not also in addition to how you define it, but what do you do when the children come to you with a problem? So in other words, they can say, hey, yeah, I'm struggling, but now that we're in agreement on how we're going to handle that. Is it possible that you guys can revisit that as well?
Most definitely we have to revisit since he suffered from, can't remember. So yeah, we definitely have to go back and revisit.
Yeah, suffering from can't remember. That's a real disease. I think it's in all the medical books.
The benefit from being on one side, for one, it strengthens your union, but it also teaches our children what marriage should look like. So it's always beyond us. Everything we do, especially when you have children, everything is a teaching moment. And so to do that, you're going to have to come together and be in agreement with what that's going to look like.
Right.
And of course, some you'll have to pull back some, you may have to pull back a little, and you've both said that at different times during the course of our time together tonight. But now you find one where your voice is in unison the same way as you're singing. That's how you parent, that's how you lead, so that you're teaching them that same thing.
And also understanding that it's two important things that come into play with that as well. She talked about the fact that we will never let the children come between us and they can't pit us against each other. But also understanding that parenting is two parts of that. One, it's a temporary assignment. We raised our children telling them that our job is to prepare you to live without us. And we had to look at who God had made them to be, reach inside them and pull it out, and then push them in that with the expectation that they would go forth and do that. That's one. But also, just because they were leaving the nest, so to speak, we're still their parents, but the way we parented them now had to shift. You parent differently for a 24-year-old, than you do a 14-year-old, because now he's a grown man. So now our roles, and this is just what we did, our role is now more of an advisory role. But he has to stand on his own 2 feet.
And this is why this is so important, 27 years in. Because if we don't give each other space to grow and change, if we keep holding each other to where we are today, then just like the boys won't become men, the relationship can't strengthen because I keep looking at you from all your past stuff. I know it's there, but because I believe and have faith that not only are we supposed to change, but you're saying you want to change, that I'm going to start supporting that as opposed to reminding you of all the times that you are not doing. And that's just as important. Well, it is. It's just as important because our words are powerful. Our actions too, but they start as a word. Mm-hmm. And if your words don't say to me that you believe I can or I will, even when I'm struggling in the doing, then I have no incentive to do it because I don't have any support. And because I know you only want the best for her, the same way you only want the best for your children. Exactly. That is evident and super clear for the little bit of time that we've been together tonight. Mm-hmm. I know that you believe she's capable. You just haven't seen a consistent expression of what is in her. And tonight, you guys have made great progress. And we just want to encourage you to keep going in that way. So when you know what your homework assignment is, that can help you hold each other accountable. So it's your words and your encouragement. It's your action where the boys are concerned. That's really, when you see it, you have to acknowledge it. Oh, babe, I see you. Okay, you didn't run to him that time. Oh, they called on the phone. You're not going to take that call? Okay, I see you.
You got to celebrate it.
You got to.
But in the midst of me running to my children's every beck and call.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if that's what I decide to do, it'll never change his love for me. At the end of the day, I still know he loves me unconditionally.
See, that's not a question.
At the end of the day, like I say, I'm willing to work on that because it's a hindrance for him. Mm-hmm. And if it's a hindrance for him, it hurts me because it's a hindrance towards him. And like I say, I'm willing to work on that because I don't want it to be a blown out issue for us.
Can I ask you a question, Perry? How can he help you? I mean, we know we talked about the packaging, but how is there anything else he can do to help you?
No, like you say, just continue to encourage me. I mean, like I say, I just know my husband's character. Oh, you ain't gonna answer that? Mm-hmm. I mean, no, I'm not.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Now y'all gotta go celebrate that. Seriously.
Yeah, the killer. Like, okay, tonight when my son called her, I was like, okay, we ain't gonna make it. We gotta go back and see about him because she ain't gonna. Our son had an accident while we was on our way here. Mm-hmm. She kept, now that's a big jump. She kept coming. Wow. And I was like, whoa, you gotta be
so y'all gotta celebrate.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
All today.
Yeah, this was before we got here, he had an accident. And he's okay. Now he calling us, so I'm like, okay, he okay. Mm-hmm. That's me. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Let me see what she gonna do. I was getting ready to say, well, let's just go on back. And I'm like, no, I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me see what she gonna do.
You see,
and she kept on coming. I was like, hold on, man.
You see what she did.
And she came. I was like, that was a big one for me. Wow. I was like, wow, she didn't go back. She didn't go back. And I was like, wow.
So you really want to change, don't you?
You got to.
Yes, I need to. And like I said, I know forward. I need to let them fly.
Yes.
Get their eagle wings and study me, keep clipping them. I know. But it's, like I say, it's a working process. I'm a mother. I'm a mother lioness. So, I mean, I'm working on it. I'm going to work even harder on it.
Getting cold.
So, one last tidbit, because you said it's a hindrance for Alonzo. And I want to also show you that it's a hindrance for your kids.
Yeah.
And what came to me just as we were sitting here talking about, you know the process of a butterfly, right? Mm-hmm. What's the process of a butterfly?
They become their cocoon before they're a butterfly.
They're a caterpillar.
Yeah, caterpillar, right? Cocoon, then they become a butterfly.
Mm-hmm. family? Or marriage? Which one?
Marriage and family.
Marriage and family. Here's the marriage and family.
But it's worth it.
Right, and so is parenting.
Parenting done right is hard work,
But it's worth
You
it.
got to put the hard work
That's
in.
right.
And you can make it happen.
And I think they're going to do
They're
that.
going to do it. I'm very confident.
So we'll look to talk to them again in the future, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And until then, we will see you next time.
Good job, babe.